In this video we will learn how to make this simple paint text animation with smooth camera zoom effect on a light checkered floor. We will be using Blender version 2.73c. Let's start by creating a new project. Open Blender and go to File and click Reload Startup File. You will see this cube in your 3D view window pane. Resize it by pressing X values. So press S to scale and then X, then 3.5 and then Enter. Now scale it on Z axis, so press S, then Z, then 0.2 and then Enter. Zoom in a little to see a clear view. Now press Tab to enter edit mode. Next we'll shape the top of the paint bar by creating a ridge around it, so press A once or twice until nothing is selected. Then make sure that Vertex Select is selected. This will allow us to select individual vertices. Then right-click on one of the top side vertices to select it. Next press E to extrude. You can see it extrude. If you move your mouse, we are going to extrude to the same position as the original vertices that we selected. To do that, just right-click the mouse button. Our extruded vertices should now be the only vertices that are selected, so let's scale them on the X-axis, so press S, then X, then 0.95 then Enter. Now scale it on the Y-axis by pressing S, then Y, then 0.8 then Enter. Now we are going to extrude downward. So press E, then -0.2, then Enter. Later on we are going to add subdivision surface modifier, and smooth out the edges to prevent the object from losing its overall rectangular shape, by adding more geometry on the corners. So hover the mouse over the end of the rectangle vertex, and press Ctrl R to add the loop cut. Then click the left mouse button, and drag it to the left until it's close to the edge, and then click the left mouse button again. Then repeat the process to the right edge. Now let's do this on the front. Hover the mouse to the center and press Ctrl R to add the loop cut and drag to the left and right side of the edges. Now we will add the top surface to the paint bar. We are doing top separately from the main bar, because the top surface will have more geometry than the main bar. So press Shift A, and select plane. Then scale on the X-axis by pressing S, then X, then 3.4 then Enter. Then scale on the Y-axis by pressing S, then Y, then 0.9, then Enter. Now drag up the blue arrow until it's little below the top edge. Then press 7 on your keyboard to switch the top view. To add more geometry, make sure that the Tools tab is selected, then click the Subdivide button. Set the number of cuts from 1 to 50. Now press Tab to return to object mode. Now we will add a subdivision surface modifier. So, click the Object Modifier button, and Modifier and then click Subdivision Surface. Set both View and Render value to 2. Then click the Smooth button. This is a good time to save the project file, so everything is saved what we have done so far. Now let's add some text, so press Shift A, and then click Text. To make the text stand up, let's rotate it on the X-axis, so press R to rotate, then X, then 90, then Enter. To edit the text, press Tab to enter edit mode. Now use the backspace key to delete the text, and enter in your own text. Now press Tab to return to object mode. Now let's add some thickness to the text. So click on the Object Data button. I am going to use an extrude value of 0.1. Now let's bevel the edges by entering the bevel depth value. I am going to use 0.02. Set the resolution value to 2 to round off the beveled edges. Later on, we are going to use dynamic paint with the text, to create waves on the top of the paint bar, so we need to convert the text into a mesh. To do that, press Alt-C, and select Mesh from Curve Meta Surf Text. During the animation, the text will appear as if it's flowing out of the paint bar or bumping onto the surface. To see this, switch to wireframe mode. We can see that the geometry of the text is not uniform. Now click the Object Modifiers button, then click the Add Modifier button, and select Remesh. Since the text is made up of disconnected letters, we need to remove the check mark that's next to remove disconnected pieces. This will allow the Remesh modifier to be applied to all of the letters. Next, increase the resolution by increasing the octave depth value. Set the value to 7. Now we can see that the geometry is uniform. Now switch to solid view. Now it's look good. Now let's resize the text, and position it over the paint bar. We will do it in orthographic mode, as it is easy to scale. So press 5 on the keyboard to switch to orthographic mode, then press 1 on the number pad to switch to front view. Now press S, to scale the text, and grab the mouse to resize it as per your choice. Let it be a little shorter than the paint bar. Then drag the text to the center. Now rotate the view down a little, then drag the text down, until it's just above the top surface.